Okay, I will see you in about an hourish
Oh,
thereabouts.
you didn't make me co-host.
What?
Co-host.
Record. I got record.
No, co-host.
Ah, all right. There we go. All right, let's do this.
Did you? No, I don't see host.
What have I done?
No, I don't see myself as host yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry. There you go.
I think it's those vibes you got going on.
There we are. All right, I'll see you in about an hour. Once there is alignment of mind, body, and heart, and those in spirit, then we have a channel. It is often thought that the body does very little other than provide a voice box, a means, but it must also be prepared for the communication to come through. It must be open, sufficiently suppressed in its need to move for a correct and full link to be made. Now, in a moment, we will begin with our healing list and also then a brief talk, and then the opportunity for you to ask questions if you wish. But we will get to those in time. But there are three things I need to mention first. The first, if you would like any members of your family or yourself to be placed on the healing list, then please provide the names to either the medium or the co-host Brandon. If you would like some physical healing for yourself, or if you would like a friend to attend the healing group which occurs later in the week, contact the medium for more details. And thirdly, we have quite a number of people already, but we could do with a few more. A number of people which have volunteered or asked to be involved in an interview, a conversation with us briefly. If you would like to be involved in that, then please contact the medium for more details. They will occur during January. So let us begin with the healing list, if I may, Brandon, please.
Okay, here we go. Francis Rosemary, Sonia, Mark, Mary, Amanda, Betty and David Essex, Teresa Neal, Pia, Helen, Sonia, Ernie and Tess Parent, Carl, Ben, Pippa, Charlotte, Peter and Chelsea, Loretta Michelle Caputo, Lisa Wiggins, Susan, Michael, Irene, babies Stephanos and Andreas, Georgia, Angelina, Stella, Maureen and Jerry, Margaret McPherson, baby Georgia, Elle, Ian, Duncan and Lorna, Barry, Tracy, Eric, Stephen, Matthew, Marianne, Jody, Jane Vartanian, Laura, Ariel, Nelsie, Ed, Rosa, Gloria, and Patrick. Thank you.
All will be held within the heart of the Creator. So today we are going to begin a talk about soulmates and those which are considered to be either physically, mentally, or spiritually connected on via a soul level. Now you should watch during this talk as during the talk during the talk, the personalities will change instantly. Without pause, without one saying, I will step back and I will step forward, but a change without a skip of a beat. Now, we have done this before privately. And the idea is to show you that many personalities exist at the same time. If you are aware sufficiently, you may be able to estimate the next personality. Which will take place after my discussion. Now, soulmates, it's a word which exists within your world, not within ours, but it is understood in our world. And you need to understand it from many different forms or different ways. Within the physical form, it is often considered that you meet one person. Some will tell you that it is more than one person, that there are more than one soulmate for you existing on this earth at this time. And then one goes looking for this soulmate. And the soul looks for a connection, an invigoration. And on the physical world, the one seems to look in all places and tries to find this connection, this being, this person, this body or mind that completes the other. In essence, what is occurring is one ego is looking for another ego to balance things that it needs to learn, grow, or develop, or to provide ego gratification. So it may look for a certain type of person, a certain set of beliefs, a certain set of values, someone who will conform to my needs, someone who will satisfy me, complete me, make me whole. And would look at one person and say, do you meet my needs? And say yes or no. Of course, most oftenly no. They do not look the way that I like, do not perform the way I like, and do not even think on the same level as myself. That person is rejected, and then the search continues. Eventually, someone who ticks sufficient boxes is met. And so long as the needs are being met, then the two stay together. And if the needs are sufficiently met and many, many boxes are ticked, then some may say that I am in love. I have found my mate. I have met the one. And a certain physical and also conditional love occurs. The connection, of course, becomes physical initially. The attraction may be purely physical or purely mental. And so long as the one provides what the other needs, then there is this love that exists. As long as you do what I need you to do, then I will love you. So long as you provide for me, I will love you. So long as you are in attendance with me, by my side, answering my questions, driving me forward, satisfying my purpose, then there is love. Alas, the other sometimes takes their own direction, have their own needs, and needs to go in their own direction. And the egos become challenged. And the ego says, you no longer satisfy my needs. And maybe they go their own way. But during the course of this relationship, the challenges come and go, both within the circumstances of life, but also within the egoic beliefs. And the connection gets deeper still. Let us say from what was physical initially into what is mentally and what is beyond there. It becomes emergence. Two become one as they both begin to act and think almost the same. The desire for physical connection changes. As the connection becomes deeper, the physical no longer satisfies. And when true connection is made, then the physical body can change through illness or deformity or any other way, and the love will still be there when it is true. The conditions played on performance and also on the way the body is of less importance. And the two then find what is more unconditional. An unconditional love where the two worship the love bond that they have between them just as much as they worship the other. Now, if that bond was to go deeper, deeper in connection, it would require both to have an understanding or the desire for, let us say, spirit or God, or the unseen world, if you prefer. The depth of connection changes. Let us say from what was superficial, you match my needs, to unconditional, where you worship the love between the two of you rather than the other. The unconditional love is the important thing, to just love. It is a big step. Unless both parties are heading in that direction of, let's say, God realization or self-realization. Into that third part becomes very difficult. So here you can see the physical world, the astral world of mind, and the causal world, or if you prefer, cosmic consciousness or Christ consciousness or spirit. So the first world you could say is body and mind, the second one soul, unconditional love, and third one, love. Each is a big step. So if you see that, let's look at it from the opposite direction. When a highly evolved soul, on the edge of becoming spirit, a unified, fully aware spirit, in the causal world provides the experiences or decides the experiences that it wants to have. It then looks for others to provide that experience or to help provide the experience. Looks for another soul or group of souls. And then having manifested or connected to a manifested form, then looks or chases an individual aspect. Not knowing that is already there. You see, the body and mind looks for conditionality. For true love, it must be this, this, and this. It cannot be this, this, and this. So in essence, on the physical form, on the physical world, true, unconditional, pure love exists. but the individual being does not know about it. And goes looking for the other form to complete what is already complete. The body looks for another to complete what it already is. And that thin layer of ego seems to be so strong, so bold, so needy. Let us tell you the same again from a different analogy so this is understood. I have used before the analogy of the movie on a screen and the viewer in the audience. Now, the viewer watches all that professes onto the screen and sees the characters play the play. Everything that exists on that screen is all really about ego, about life. It's the way the life is on that screen. If you see it on the screen, it ain't the real bit. It's the false bit, it's the ego bit. If you sit in the audience and you're watching the audience, that's then nearer to the reality bit, isn't it? And it kind of, you get all the drama on the screen and you get all the aggravations and hassles and you get all the problems and you see, no, don't go that way, go this way. There's lots of strange emotions going on and lots of difficulties happen and you have to overcome the demons and the villains and all that. And the more embodied that person is or feels like they are, the more they cannot connect into the trueness of love. You see, love ain't nothing to do with the physical world. You think it is. You don't love what your partner's body's like, does it? Do you? You know what I mean? You might be attracted to it, but you don't really love it because how can you? It changes every minute of the day. It's always different. Everybody gets a few more grey hairs, don't they? And what you were like back then when you were a kid, you ain't like now, are you? You ain't the same person then. So how can you love somebody then and they'd be totally different 10 years later and you say, I still love them? It can't be about body, can it? Can't be about what they believe in their mind either. Can't be about that. You don't have the same beliefs as a kid as you do when you, let's say you're 25, do you? Well, that's changed. And you got the same values at 25 as when you got when, let's say, when you're 50 or 70. All that's changed, isn't it? Otherwise, you'd still be playing with your toys, wouldn't you? Maybe you are. Maybe you are. Maybe your husband is. Maybe your husband's got loads of toys. He's still there. But anyway, look, off track, keep myself on target. Anyway, look, don't expect to have the same values. Don't look for love in the movie screen. Look for love beyond that. And you'll fall into that unconditionality because that's what naturally happens. And as a consequence, then you can love everybody, can't you? If love ain't nothing to do with what goes on the movie, the ego, what the battles of all that bodily stuff is, then you can love everybody. So everybody becomes a soulmate potentially. Because it happens at the soul level, the unconditional level. Nice and simple, isn't it, really, if you look at it? You just got to spend a little bit of time looking at it. You see, as you look at your partner and you go, look, Oh, you're lovely. You know what I mean? You're lovely. It's the true nature of your spirit that you are seeing in their physical form. So your spirit is connected to their spirit. Or let me get the words right. Your soul is matching into their soul. And you're sitting in the audience then, and you can watch the screen together, can walk together and deal with the aggravations of life. Sometimes you might drop back into the playing the roles, but you come back into there. But you'll always be watching the movie unless you take the next step. And the next step always is the complete surrender to realize that there is just love. Just the lovely, lovely loveness. To get there, the two of you got to be working at it together. Remember, it's got to be two or more that come together. And that's why you get, as you go through the different levels, you get more and more joint souls coming to you as a medium. Become more aware of groups rather than individuals. Might have individuals at times, you get bigger groups, and then you get higher groups where there's representatives and things. Anyway, that's another story. So the truth is then, let me get this nice and Charlieized and put into plain English. Right? On the physical world, you chase the physical results or the mental needs of the ego. You're in the play, you're playing it, and you're looking for that special one, not knowing that you don't need it, but your ego's trying to match it. And then you find somebody who looks one way to be attractive and somebody who looks a different way to be not be so attractive. When you step beyond the physical form into the audience of the movie theatre, then you realise that there's a deeper connection beyond what's going on the screen. It's non-physical. Your love ain't physical. Think of your child. Do you love them just because they were a little baby, or do you love them for something more than that, for deeper? Do you still love them even though they're not a little baby? You love deeper. It's not worried about what's going on out there. It's about what's going on in here, in your heart. And if you want to go further, the two of you got to go further together to realise that there's another point of view again. And that means the two of you needs to have some understanding or a desire to find it. Maybe life exists beyond the movie theatre, if you want to put it that way. So everybody is a soulmate. Everybody. It's just your ego that can't see it. Over and out, looking good as always. The different personalities that can be present is a sign of the unity that exists underneath you all. The unity that exists right now. Where is your viewpoint? Do you just see the body that's in front of you, or can you connect to something deeper again? You are the soulmate that you are searching for. It is not out there. It is in here, inside your body or your mind, inside your being, to the core of yourself. Now, as suggested, I do open to questions. If there's anyone that would like to ask, either on this topic or other topics, whatever is on your mind. So, Brandon, do we have a question that I can begin with?
Indeed, we do. We have a question from Tracy. Tracy, you want to ask your question?
Yes, thank you. I'm doing a lot of self-study and advancing myself. And I'm very aware of the astral versus beyond the astral. So my question is, when it's my time to go, will I spend much time in the astral or beyond to the Summerland? And should I even be hung up between astral versus beyond astral? Because my ultimate goal is to be in service to others, to spirit, once I'm passed.
My dear, of course, this depends a little on your definition. There are many definitions for this, but let me do you my definition and then we can be clear. Of course, there is a physical world. Then there is a world which you are referring to as astral. Astral world is still within the mental evolution of each individual soul. Through the astral world, instant creation occurs. In the astral world, then there is still individuality, and still much time can be spent here, but from the astral world, rebirth will occur. Souls take their journey throughout the astral world before they go further. And the astral world was what I was referring to as the second world, into then what you could say the causal, and I believe here you are calling Summerland. Now, I suggest that you are referring to beyond the mental world into the being or ability to create totally and to observe. Many undertaking this journey go through learning through experiences within the astral, by learning knowledge and then experiencing that knowledge within individual lives. So they will live for a period and, let's say, learn about compassion one lifetime and anger the next lifetime, whatever that may be. During that journey, they realize that the knowledge they are attempting to gather, they need to now embed within their being and stop gathering and start understanding their deeper states. And they start to let go then of the knowledge that they possess, from being something that they know to something within their being, to then what is deeper still, what is beyond the mind. Now, the expression here within this world is often where mediumship will occur, where you have individualities or individual people or personalities. Now, from that, then the spirit, the soul, attempts to become more, let's say, spiritual, understanding the spiritual self. There is less desire to gain and more desire to be. You see, in the astral world, it is a belief that if I learned this, then I would be better. And if I understood compassion, for example, then I would be better still. If I learned the trumpet, again, I have other skills that I have learned. It's very much experience-based. Until one day, then they realize that the experience of the inner journey is still to be discovered. Now, I believe the underlying nature of your question is how best to be of service. Now, how best to be of service to others is to be of service to yourself first. To understand that your journey has to be inwards and has to be one of clarity. It has to be one of expression of that inward world. So hence the desire to work on oneself. The empath always desires to heal another as an expression of the need for healing within the self. So, come to find your own love. Again, empaths are full of love, but at times they restrict and hold it back when it should be expressed. Come to know your love. Come to know your awareness. Who is the one that wants this feeling of expression, rather than what is the expression? And then, in knowing internally that you have a spiritual nature, you have your own soul, then you'll find, I understand, or I hope you are following my logic, you will understand that you have no choice but expressing your soul. Like finding your light, you have to express it. You can't hold it back much longer. Let that be given away. The truly advanced protects nothing, holds on to nothing, gives everything away, and knows that nothing is lost. So let me explain another way. Discovers their light, shares their light, and realize that the light is endless. It can never be depleted. Now you have a mission, my dear, and you have a mission of this pathway. But within the individual life that you are living, the mission is to let go of your heart. Stop protecting your heart. The way will always be through the heart. The emotional heart, of course. It has to go through the heart, and you go out the other side. Realizing again that you give away everything. The empathic person is perfected at this, but criticizes themselves greatly for that sensitivity and tenderness, and has doubt and has concern that they should not be so emotional, or should not have so much emotion, or if you prefer, should not have the access to so much love. Should not give it away so freely, but I do. The error of the empath is not the giving away of love. It is the criticism of giving away the love. Let that flow through you, and you will be of service to the world. You are of service to the world by being your true self. If you wish, by stepping beyond the movie screen into the audience. And in doing that, you then lead others You know yourself that when you give away love, others are attracted to it and are attracted to you. You know this. You have people coming to you with a desire to share, to talk, to share their experiences, their pain, their hurt. You feel safe within your energy, and others need that. You've created the bridge between the movie theater and the audience, and you sit in there, but then you bring yourself into the movie and say, I should not be like that. My dear, your heart is large, and it is meant to be large because it holds and can hold much. Protect it not. Give away. Have no thought of self. Share with another. Even if you risk the pain of giving your heart away. And that pain can come. It already has, hasn't it? That pain can come. Let it be given nonetheless. And when you feel these times of hurt, and you feel within the being someone has annoyed or cheated you or said something wrong and hurt you, come back into your being. Do not hold your heart closed for long. Know that it is just your ego that is damaged, because your soul is true, and you are true. Remember, love and fear, or if you prefer, light and darkness, cannot exist at the same time. You cannot have darkness within light, and you cannot not have light within darkness. It is one or the other. Which one will you pick? Let me tell you a story. When a woman is walking down the road and is confronted by a big angry dog, the dog is snarling and barking and growling and dripping with saliva as he bares its teeth. The woman runs away. When a mother is walking down the street with a baby in a chair, and that same dog jumps out and snarls and barks and growls, the mother stands between it and its baby. Love or fear? You pick. I trust I have answered your question.
You have greatly. Thank you.
Be true to yourself. You are very worthy. Is there another question, Brand?
Yes, this comes from Lindsay. I'm finding sometimes trance is using a lot of energy that I have little of. Also really hungry often afterwards. Do I need more vitamins or nourishment to replenish my body with trance or mediumship in general?
The energy of, let us say, mediumship, if we're going to use that term, of course, it can be spiritual connection. Means that there is energy running through you And of course, at times it can build up within the body and should be released. If not, then there will be energy builds up in points of weakness. If you have a sore knee, then that is what will then be inflamed. All energy should be expressed and got rid of. Be careful. It is common that at these times a feeling of depletion occurs, as not only spirit energy has been given away, but bodily energy has been given away, that there is a draw towards sugar, need for chocolate, shall we say, or sweet drinks. This is to replace the bodily energy that has been given along with the spiritual energy. A spiritual energy should just flow through you. And when done correctly, then the being will feel invigorated at the end of it. If the medium has gone to such a depth and come back with a jolt, then there is a feeling of drain of energy because there is a sudden jolt into awareness. Be careful with that. So the problem, ignoring that one for a second, their problem is generally giving away own energy, not just spiritual energy. If this is happening, your technique is slightly out. You should give what is given and no more. You do not need to add to it. If spirits say to you, as a message to a client, buy a red car, for example, poor quality message, but let's say that will do, then it should be just given as that, buy a red car. It does not need to be given any other way. You need to trust that we are in control. We give what is appropriate. Now, the questioner, I think you said it was Lindsay, the question.
Yes.
Lindsay, yes. Now I recognize your energy. Now, the
Yes,
questioner has the ability to always needs to do a little bit more within their mind, a feeling of incompleteness, a feeling that they must give perfection, a feeling that they must give this and then a little bit, a drive that they are, let us say, incomplete as a teaching from their past, where they felt, or Lindsay, you felt, that you had to do more, had to give more, that 90% was not good enough. And I suggest that you should accept what is given should be given. What is received should be given. Let us worry about the quality. Let you worry about the connection. Watch your desire for additional energy. Is the technique slightly out or not? You should finish your session feeling recharged, not depleted. If that is the case, you have an error. An error within the programming, shall we say.
That's perfect. That's exactly what I do. I always give a little bit more, and I should just let it be. Thank you.
My pleasure. Is there time for another question?
I don't think we can squeeze another one in, Ignatius. Thank you.
Okay. So, God bless you all. I trust that you witnessed that change I mentioned. And I trust you now understand the desires for love. It is always there. Do not limit it. It is whole. It is perfect. It is complete. It is your side which puts limitations and expression. God bless you all.